Maybe I'll talk a little bit about the eligibility to purchase the homes, and then just jump in if there are any questions. Really, we want it to be more conversational, so if you've got anything. So in order to be eligible to apply for ownership of these homes, a big piece is that you need to be a new homeowner. So a new homeowner, if you are if you've co-owned a home with a partner in the last 5 years, and now you're on your own, then you can be eligible still. So it doesn't stop you from being eligible. And then another big piece is the income. So you need to add up all of the family's income, gross income for a year. So that's anyone over 18 in the household who is working. The income can be no more or no less than $36,000 in order to qualify for this mortgage at a credit union. And it can be no more than $64,829.
Now, I just wanted to add to Leanne. She stated credit union, and that's important. Any one of the credit unions in the city of Brandon will lend money for a STEP home, but banks will not. Banks still want a cash down payment, so don't waste your time going to a bank. You can go to a credit union. The one which has financed the last 3 STEP homes has been the Crocus Credit Union, and Westova financed one of them. But Vanguard or Sunrise, they are also would be willing to handle a STEP home.
So another piece to be eligible is that you must have at least one child in the household. They're 3-bedroom homes, so preference will be given to people, as large a family as we can fit into that home legally. But you need to at least have one child with you. You need to pre-qualify for a mortgage, and with the credit union, like Glenn was saying. So I have the applications here, and something you need to bring in when you go to pre-qualify for a mortgage is you need an appraisal of the building. An appraisal is what it is valued for on the market. It details out, square footage and materials, and really details out the value, what that adds up to in value for the home. So that's a hugely useful document, and typically it costs around $200 to $300 to get on your own, but we provide them here for you.
And in this situation, that the appraisal of each half of that duplex, it's valued at $193,000. So that's the value of it, but we're selling it for $126,500. And we're selling it for $126,500 because that is our cost. We pay for the contractors, we pay for, and they're built by an employment training program too. So we use individuals who are learning construction trades in order to construct the home. So we sell these homes at cost. So that's where the $126,500 is the purchase price, but it's appraised at $193,000 and some change.
And they're really high quality homes. They're energy efficient to a very high standard, and that will decrease the cost of heating. And that's, it's all about that. You don't want a beautiful, nice new home and then it costs you more to live in it than your previous home. Another requirement is that you must be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident of Brandon for at least 12 months before applying. So, and lots of people have questions about that, but it's pretty, you're welcome to ask me about it. It's pretty straightforward, really. As I said, we do have an open house coming up on Sunday. It's going to run from 10 till 2:30, and you're welcome to bring people by and walk through it. Children are welcome. I have cookies.
I didn't say that. Yes.
Yeah, and you'll save me from eating them all myself. So. I think another piece that's fun to talk about is how awesome the house is. It's a beautiful home. The basement is fully finished, and it's a walkout basement. So you have garden doors to the patio from the basement, and you can walk right into where you park in the back. There's parking in the rear of the site. It's not street parking. It's a beautiful open concept construction. It's So that means the living room, dining room, and kitchen are all kind of one space. Custom oak cabinets that were built from the Brandon Correctional Institute, which is kind of impressive, but they were built custom to the space. It's a 4-piece bathroom. There's a walk-in closet from the master bedroom.
And the other thing I want to mention is that these are 2 STEPP homes which are available right now. In addition, though, we have 4 more which are under construction at 1062 on First Street. Those will be 4 condos. They're each 3-bedroom homes, and they are a block away from, which school is that? Pardon me?
Green Acres?
No. George Fitton. George Fitton School and daycare. So that's really close to that. So if a person applies for these 2 STEPP homes but doesn't get accepted, we will keep the application if you're interested with regards to the other ones.
Likewise, a lot of people will say, well, I don't kind of have all my ducks in a row. I can't get this sorted out for this application, because applications are due on November 30th at 4 p.m. in my office, and which is located in City Hall. If you go onto the BNRC website, then you will, and you find it on all of the literature, it's written everywhere. There's an email list you can sign up for, and if you sign up for the email list, then we'll make sure to let you know about all the open houses and when the next lots become available. Another thing people have asked is whether, if they apply now, if the application can just be put on for the next one. And the thing with that is that we would need a current pre-approval. We don't know exactly the price that we'll be charging for the next homes, but we expect they'll be ready in a year. So that just gives you a rough timeline. But so the bottom line is, give us your contact information, your email or whatever, come in contact with me, and then we'll hold on to you. And we'll let you know when the next opportunity is available, because we know it's brutal out there. It can be very difficult to get into home ownership, so we're just trying to help here. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah?
For your children, do they have to be under the age of 18?
Okay, so the question is whether the children have to be under the age of 18. And for the purpose of the camera, I'm just saying it again in the microphone.
No.
I don't think they do.
No, they don't.
Because a lot of different people, the tradition is to have families live together for a while, you know, and so no, they don't. I certainly would say that that shouldn't stop you from applying at the very least. And that's another thing. A lot of people get overwhelmed thinking, oh, I'm not going to get it anyway. Everyone else is going to want a house. I have no chance. Well, you'll definitely have no chance if you don't apply. You know, like you got to just try.
Right. So if they're over 18, then should they be working, or is it better? Or?
You are who you are.
Repeat the question. You got to repeat.
Oh, sorry. The question is, if they're over 18, should they be working? We don't tell you what your life is or who should be doing what. So the main thing is to reflect it in the application, and that's that.
The other thing I want to mention too is that when you buy a STEPP home, you can do anything you want with it. You can build a garage, you can put a fence, you can paint it any funky colors you want. You know, so
not too funky. Try not to do too funky.
Not too funky. But you can. It's your property, so you can do what you want with it. The only criteria is that it must be well maintained. Mm-hmm. So the reason we put that into the purchase agreement is because you have an investment in this house, so do we. Mm-hmm. So it has to be well maintained, but other than that, you know, it's your property.
Something people have been asking me at the last open house was, you know, what are the property taxes going to be? And we don't know for sure, but I did speak with the city, and they said that based on 2017 rates, the estimate would be that it's about $3,200 a year per side. So it varies within $100. I don't know why, and neither did they. But I kind of wish that wasn't being recorded when I said that. But anyway, so that's what to expect. And there's also a program for those who don't know. There's a program available through the city called TIPS, and that's where you pair up monthly payments to your property taxes. So you're not doing a year chunk payment, which is hard. It can be so easy to dip into that property tax savings, you know, so to stop you from getting dinged for not paying your property taxes.
Yeah, it's very important to, when you borrow for the mortgage, to set it up so your monthly mortgage payments and also your monthly taxes are coming off there too. And you also can set up the insurance on the house on a monthly basis too. So therefore you don't have any big bill. It's all on a monthly basis and you can budget for that.
There should be closing costs. With any home, when you buy, there's closing costs. There are lower closing costs with this home because you're not going through CMHC. So typically if you had 5% of a down payment on a home, then you would need CMHC to give you mortgage insurance. And there are fees and things like that with that. That's not involved here, so that decreases. You should expect about $1,500 in closing costs. That's for legal, that's for a transfer of title, these types of things, give or take.
But it's important, one thing you can do though is borrow the closing costs as part of your mortgage.
Right.
So don't add it on to, just tack it onto your mortgage, and that way it's a monthly payment.
Right. Are there any other questions?
What is the no more than the income?
The income range?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's from 36,
Repeat the question.
I have to repeat the question. It's the income range to be qualified for the home is between 36,000 for the entire family to 64,829.
And the reason we put that baseline at 36,000 is because that is the minimum amount of income you require from a lending institution to qualify for a mortgage of this size. We would like to bring it lower, but that's the best we can do at this home. The other homes might be lower, but I don't know at this time.
But likewise, if you make exactly $36,000, you have to really consider if you want to put yourself in that position, because homeownership can come with ebbs and flows of expenses. So you want to make sure that you are not going to get yourself into a situation where you want to still be able to afford the home.
I was just curious as to what happens if the homeowner lives in the home for 25 years and then acquires it outright? Is there any other costs associated with CMHC?
So the question is,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. CMHA and CMHC get confused all the time. So the question has been, let's say that the homeowner lives there for 25 years and they pay down their mortgage, and you're saying they refinance and buy out CMHA? That's what you're asking about?
How does that happen?
How does it work? So it was brought up at the last info session, actually. You could refinance your mortgage to incorporate and then buy out CMHA. And if that were to happen, then it's yours. It's yours, period.
Well, and the ideal time to actually do that from a financial point of view would be at the 10-year point. Because at 10 years, you would have $85,000 paid down in regards to the value of this home. So between what you paid down and what the market's gone up, you would have an $85,000 down payment. So you could go to the credit union, refinance, pay us back the second mortgage and a portion of whatever the market went up, and then we're out of the picture. And therefore, you can do whatever you want with the house. It's 100% yours. You can gift it as part of your inheritance. You can rent it out. You can do anything with it because we're out there. And actually, that's very beneficial for us as an agency because it means we get our money back sooner so we can help 2 more families sooner.
So if you guys have bigger units other than 3-bedroom?
Pardon me?
Oh, the question is, are there bigger units, more than 3 bedrooms?
Not for these 2 and not for the next 4, but we do have an application to build 4-bedroom units, but they're at Griswold. There's 6 that we're applying to do that in cooperation with Sioux Valley. but we haven't received any word from the provincial government as to whether or not they will provide us some funding for that.
A lot of it depends on the type of funding that's provided. Prior to this, we had built 4 single detached homes, and I don't know how many bedrooms.
They're all 3.
There were 3 bedrooms. It just depends on the land that's available and the type of funding. You know, there are so many people needing affordable home ownership that when funding is available, they often require that it's, you know, get as many people as legal and comfortable on the land as possible. You know, and so this is our best solution to it right now.
I guess this is sort of another half of the same question that was just asked. Sort of the opposite end of if you don't get to, you know, pay that off and buy the other half and everything. Sort of the other end of what if you don't get to fulfill that minimum time requirement, something, you know, life happens, and what happens in that case? If you're, for some reason, if you need to move out of that house sooner than what you may have intended.
Okay, so the question was, you know, there was a question asked before, what happens when you pay down a bunch of the equity and can you buy CMHA out? I'm sorry, I'm rephrasing it, but the question now was, what if something happens and you don't have the money to pay off CMHC, or CMHA? See, I did it. Is that a fair?
Well, no, maybe I didn't understand before. There's a minimum time that you need to stay in the house?
No, there's no minimum time.
You could, in theory, you could buy the house tomorrow and sell it the next day. The problem is you would not make any money because your closing costs and legal fees and all that kind of stuff, you would lose money if you did that. But if the worst case scenario happened and you had to sell it the following year or in 6 months, that's what life happens sometimes. It just means that you would be renting basically because you would not be walking away with much, if any, money.
So it's basically just what you said before, you kind of split everything 50-50 when the house is sold, kind of?
It doesn't work to exactly 50-50. It depends upon how much we lowered the cost of this house. In this example,
$66 and $30. Yeah.
In this example, you would be paying for 65% of what the home is worth, and the agency is only providing 35%. So it would be a 65-35 split with regards to the market and all that kind of stuff.
Basically, it's whatever ratio.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the ratio that it is that gets paid back.
Yeah, and we have, for people who want to know the exact numbers, we've got sheets on that that tell you exactly what those numbers are.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You probably saw it when you came in, but there's information on, you know, kind of the specs of the home. I don't think we've mentioned that the appliances are included, which is pretty fantastic because, I mean, a lot of times you buy a house and maybe the stove or whatever is included, but it's not new, you know, and it's not, but you're getting brand spanking new stuff. It's good quality. It's all, you know, energy efficient, and
And a washer and dryer.
Washer and dryer, fridge, stove. So it's a very good deal.
What would your utilities be? Like on previous homes, what would that run around?
Such a tricky question.
That's a very good question, and no one's ever asked that before, and I don't have the answer.
I tried to find the answer.
We will find that out. We
Yeah.
know a number of homeowners, and we can tell you that. But Leanne will get that information.
Yeah, especially if you just put a star next to your name on the sign-up sheet, then I'm happy to contact you and let you know. But the thing is, I've been trying to find that for the last couple of weeks. It's kind of an intangible.
I'm actually not asking for myself, I'm asking for my sister.
Okay.
Because she's a single mom, and I know that every penny counts, and as everybody in this room, when it comes time to paying the hydro bill or buying your kids new shoes, which trumps what?
Yeah.
So that would be actually very helpful for everyone to know what their utilities would be running around. especially your water and your gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, no, that's a very good point. But if you, like I said, if you want to give me her contact information, then I'll for sure get back to her.
Well, what we'll do is, we should probably even put that on the website.
Oh, yeah.
Once we find that out, and it'll be an approximation. Any other questions?
Does everyone understand the concept of the two mortgages and how the equity is shared and how everything, okay. Or not the equity.
And do people understand the difference between a first and a second mortgage? I don't see some...
Yeah, some people are like, oh, I don't know.
Okay, well, a first mortgage is what the credit union would take out. And a first mortgage means that if for some reason you default on paying your mortgage, they take possession of the house and they're the first to get paid out. That's what a first mortgage is. After they get paid out, we are the second on title, so we would be the second to be paid out, and then whatever's left is what goes in your pocket. Okay? Any other questions? Got lots of coffee there, folks.
Lots of coffee. And I'll just say that, you know, like I said, my information's all over the place. Please contact me if you have any questions. My sole role is to help you guys get a house. So I'm happy to answer anything.
So there'll be like one owner on that house, or it'll be two, like you and the guy who owns that house, like how that works?
No, you'll be the owner. So the question was, sorry Glenn, the question was, are you the sole owner of the house, or will you be a second owner, or someone else will be the first owner?
If you buy the house, it is your house to do what you wish with it, but the credit union will have a lien against the title. So if you decide to sell it, they will get paid. Us, the Canadian Mental Health Association, we don't own the house. You own the house, but if you sell the house, we're the second one to get paid. Okay, so it's one owner of the house. And it can be only one person, one family unit that buys the house. Okay, it can't be two people going together to buy it. Okay, it needs to be one family.
There'll be no condo fee or any fee, right? Like,
No, it's not a condo. The question was if are there any condo fees? But no, in this case, it's a duplex, and they just have a connection with the wall, and that's it.
Yeah, and you have total title to your half of that house and the land underneath it. So it is a clear title, it's not a condo. The other 4 that we're building on First Street, that will be a condo, because we're putting 4 on one lot and we can't divide the land up. Any other questions? Yes.
What about a mortgage payment, like for the month? Can you give us a rough estimate as to like how much a mortgage payment per month would be to the bank?
Another great question, and we will do more homework on that, okay?
Well, some of it will have to do with, or the question was, you know, what would a mortgage payment look like? And some of that will have to do with the amount of income your family makes. And you know, it's a bank calculation, and we leave that, the credit union's calculation, we leave that in their capable hands. But we can try and get a ballpark. I mean,
we can get a ballpark for sure. Yeah,
it's a good idea.
it's a very good idea.
Yeah. So you can look for that information on the website, but give me a few days.
So have you guys had someone move into a STEPP home and they paid for it already?
So the question is, has someone moved into a STEPP home before and paid for it already, paid it off? They're happily living in there right now?
No, I think I don't know the exact date, but I believe 2012 was the first STEPP home we sold. So it's only been 5 years ago. But of the 4 STEPP homes that we sold, everyone is still living in those homes. Yeah.
And anecdotally, I've spoken with one of the homeowners, and she said that she really likes the area and that she loves her home. She's still as thrilled as she was the first day when she got it. So, I mean, that's a little bit of feedback. You never know, but people seem to be happy with it.
It's got a great bike path along the back end of it, just really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just wondering if there are any expectations or requirements regarding the length of mortgage that you get into?
Well, the question is there a requirement for the length of mortgage? And for the last STEP homes plan, correct me if I'm wrong, they had to be a minimum, or they had to be a 5-year term.
No, there is no minimal length. Oh, right.
Right, the term.
There has to be at least, you're right, it has to be at least a 5-year term.
5-year term, and then you
But it can be as
can,
long as
yeah.
you can negotiate with the credit union.
yeah.
So,
So it doesn't have to be like a 20-year?
No.
No.
It's a typical mortgage between you and the credit union. So,
but it has to be a minimum of 5 years,
Right.
so. Any other questions? If we're done, we're done. Going once. Going twice. Thank you very kindly.
thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And my cards are in the back. Please get a hold of me if you have any questions.
Yes. Okay.